My father worked at Williams and Cray, a transport firm. He was in the customs department there. I realised that times were fairly difficult, but I wasn't really aware that we were going through, as the port was in those times, we were going through a depression. However, one or two incidents have reminded me that they were hard times. One was that my mother had to take in boarders, and we had 3 boarders, Ian McLennan, Mick Hardy and a Mr. Tripney. And in that way our income was able to be boosted. Another little incident, opposite us there were people named Kersey, and one of the sons, Kersey's sons, got married. For some reason or other, I was invited along to the wedding, or to the wedding feast. We went into this little room. There were about only 4 people there. There was a very Spartan table set for us, and that was the wedding breakfast. How different from the procedures that go on today. So I was 8 years of age at that time, and at the port school, and it was playtime, and we were thrown around the playground. Nothing violent happened to me except that a boy ran into me and I fell back, and I always remember grazing my elbow. But the story is told by my father that I was 8 years old at the time, and he came to meet us. He used to work in Williams and Cray, and my first words were to him, "That was a beaut." He used to repeat those words to friends many times, so I must have said them. We lived in a camp near Battery Road. I remember the water trucks coming around. It's amazing that there wasn't an epidemic at the port, or even Napier itself, but that was avoided. Later, we, as children, were taken as refugees. First we went to Taradale, just for a few days there, then to relatives in Woodville, and spent a couple of months or so in there. So we were refugees. The earthquake raised the land 6 to 7 feet. There were 2 lagoons, 2 ponds at the port, the North Pond and the South Pond. Both of them were emptied of water. The tide went out. The fish were exposed. But because of that, the port has changed in the sense that the North Pond, the lagoon, is now being developed by the railways. There is now a highway which goes from the harbour through to the port, which ran at the back of our place in Waghorn Street. It's there. At West Shore, which I suppose is still part of the port in a way, the lagoon rose there. It's now the Napier Airport. So in that way, Napier has developed industrially and commercially because of the earthquake.